Hello everyone, Spidey Fist here, and I'm kind of gonna rant a little bit. I don't really have anything planned out of what I want to say as much as I know what I want to talk about, and that is the fact that we don't have any Ninja Turtles games on the Nintendo Switch, and nothing's really been announced. We don't really have any information about anything that could be coming up. I know that the Mutant Madness game is going to be coming out soon for, the mobile, but aside from that, we really don't have any Ninja Turtles games, with the exception of we know they're going to be in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2, and I'm going to pick it up, of course. I did play the first one. I enjoyed it. I love getting to play as the Ninja Turtles, so I'll pick up the second one. The second one does look a lot better, too. So I'm excited for it, but it's not really, super high up on my list of things right now. And if they were to release a Ninja Turtles game, well, that would be super high up on my list of things. I would move that right up there above, Shaolin versus Wu-Tang, which is the game that I'm currently, super, super excited for, that comes out this September. So, we'll just get right into the video. Okay, so in the past, the Ninja Turtles and Nintendo have had a pretty healthy track record, right? There's been a bunch of games. You have the NES games, SNES games. You have the Game Boy. I believe there were some on the GameCube. You had the Wii U had some, I believe. And then, of course, the 3DS. I actually have several 3DS games of the Ninja Turtles in my drawer right now that I take out and I play from time to time because they were enjoyable. They were fun games. And they were mainly based off of, the 2012, and they love to do, the movie tie-ins. So I think it was the 2007 Ninja Turtles movie. It got a video game, and it was actually a whole lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed that game. And it got, shared across all the platforms. And then the 3DS got a whole bunch of games that were a whole bunch of fun based off the 2012 series. And then Rise didn't really get much attention. Rise wasn't that well received. I know there are a lot of Rise fans, and I don't hold it against you. I think it's okay. I'm a huge Ben Schwartz fan, but even that's not enough for me to really say that I really, really liked the series. But for me, I think nothing's going to top the 2012 series because that show was awesome. It was so funny. And I am glad that a bunch of games got made off of it because that show had so much stuff in it, right? The Michael Bay Turtles came out, and those weren't very well received. The second one was definitely better than the first one. And had they made a third one, I feel like it would have actually felt like a really good Turtles movie. But there were so many problems that people had that they kind of scrapped it. There was a bunch of talks about maybe a Netflix show, and maybe that's still going to happen. But we do know now that Seth Rogen's going to be making his CGI Turtles, and I'm pretty excited for that. I think that's going to be cool. Seth Rogen's very funny. If you are old enough to have seen, what was that? It was Sausage Fest or something like that. They did a good job. The animation was very spot on. It was a very gross movie, and I'm not going to watch it again. But, it was decent, I don't know if Seth Rogen's going to, voice anybody. I'm not even sure who I would want to voice who, just because those voices are now so in my head that I'm no, this is what Raph sounds like, this is what Mikey sounds like, this is what Leo sounds like. So I don't know. But I do know they will likely release a video game with that movie just because they're so big with, Nickelodeon is so big with releasing movies alongside of those Ninja Turtles, releasing games alongside the movies and the cartoons. They're really big on that. So we'll probably get a game then, but that movie's probably not even going to happen until sometime either late next year or the year following. So there's no telling whenever we get a video game from that. So what I do want to say is I've got 3, I guess, decent ideas for a new Ninja Turtles game. And then I want to kind of talk about what I want from a Ninja Turtles game just because of the past ones that I've played and what I think we should bring from each of those and kind of bring over into the new Ninja Turtles whenever they finally release that game. So I guess we're going to I'll put a title up that says number 1 idea or something like that, right? So my first idea is a skating game based off the Ninja Turtles, kind of with the feel of the Tony Hawk Pro Skaters from back in the day, right? Where you kind of have this big open level and you complete little missions throughout the level skateboarding, but you are Ninja Turtles characters. So we all know that Ninja Turtles have this huge rogues gallery. They've got all of these awesome individual characters. A lot of them are just crazy unique. right? Like Leatherhead is one of my favorite characters. I like the old like Cajun like pirate Leatherhead, right? But I really really loved the new Leatherhead. Like the big green one from 2012, I thought he was awesome, and I like loved his friendship with Michelangelo. But you have like Leatherhead, you got Bebop, you got Rocksteady, you got Splinter, you got Shredder, you got the Four Turtles, you've got Jenica now, right, from the comic books, you've got Karai, you've got Alopex, you've got all of these awesome characters, and you could bring in these characters, have them as unlockable, maybe have like skateboards based off them and stuff like that. But an actual skating game based off of the Ninja Turtles would be so cool. And I'm not talking about like they did like this little like computer one on, I think it was like the Nickelodeon website, where you were like riding through on a skateboard, and it was basically like you were like locked on a track, almost like a running style game, and then you just kind of skateboarded through, and you were like you were Mondo Gecko, Michelangelo, and I think what's his name, Fish Face or whatever. You were those characters, and you kind of like skateboarded through. I would like something a little bit bigger than that. I would like an actual like open 3D skateboarding game where you bust off these cool tricks and they like whip out their weapons and they do like cool like special tricks and stuff like that. I think that'd be super cool. The next one, I guess like Big Idea 2, maybe I'll do like a 2 on the screen or something, but I'm not very good with that stuff, so maybe I won't. So, 2, whoa, look at the production on this video, huh? So, second idea would be like a warrior style Ninja Turtles. Like there's a bunch of franchises that I think would really lend themselves to like the Warriors aesthetic, right? Like the Dynasty Warriors, Hyrule Warriors, Fire Emblem Warriors, the Warriors of Orochi and stuff like that. Like you have all of these turtles and all of these great villains and all of these side characters and stuff like that would lend themselves so well to like this big open fighting area, right? Where you can go through, maybe it's just like the basic like capture posts and stuff like that, right? You could have like a sewer level. You could have like a level where you're trying to stop Krang from like building the Technodrome and stuff like that, right? You have all these different areas that you could, throw into a game like this, and then you have all these great characters that all are so unique and different from each other that they would lend themselves perfectly for like the Dynasty Warriors setup, right? Like Ninja Turtle Warriors would be so sick. I would love it so much. It would be so much fun. And then like lastly would be to bring back like the fighting game style, right? Like they had one, it was either on the NES or SNES, I can't remember. And then they had one that was either on like the Wii or the GameCube. And one of them was set up kind of like Super Smash Brothers, and it was okay. I don't think it was really that great. And then the other one was more like Mortal Kombat, and it was also some fun. I played both of them. I enjoyed both of them. But I would like an actual like in-depth fighter based off of like these characters, kind of like Mortal Kombat or Injustice style, and seeing how they were just in Injustice 2, and they were awesome in Injustice 2. I think like a stage fighter would be super cool, like having these guys like come over here and like beat the crap out of each other, but they're still Ninja Turtles, so like I guess you don't kill each other at the end or whatever. So that would be cool. Now, I'm going to move into like the last thing I want to talk about, and then I'll be done ranting. I've already gone on for like 7 or 8 minutes now. The last thing I want to talk about is what I would expect out of like a big Ninja Turtles game, right? Like I loved Out of the Shadows fighting. Like it was kind of like Arkham style fighting, Assassin's Creed like fighting. But the big problem with it was like the controls I don't think were really tight enough. The camera was kind of all over the place, and then the Ninja Turtles didn't look great. Like Michelangelo, like his head literally looked like a watermelon because like the color was all over the place. Now, that is probably one of my favorite console Ninja Turtles games just because of how fun it was to play, and you could unlock like these little missions where you would like get like the old school side scrolling, right? And I don't know, it was a lot of fun. You could, play 4-player on it, but I feel like it could have been better. They could have done a little bit more on it, but I believe that game was only like $20 or something like that. It was like an online store only game, so for what it was a lot of fun, and I really did enjoy it. We recently had Mutants in Manhattan come out, and it was very close to being Dynasty Warriors. Like it was like this close to being a Dynasty Warriors game, and I did enjoy it, but it was really short. It didn't really have that much replayability, and then like the characters didn't feel very original, right? Like you could kind of like change out most of the special attacks for the characters, and all the combos kind of felt the same. But it was a very fun game, and I really did enjoy it, but it didn't do too well, if memory serves me. And if we could kind of take those two games and like put them together and make like a great game, you know, like this cool game, maybe if you want to keep that side-scrolling aspect, just bring in those combos and those big super attacks. Make the game look good, you know. Design the turtles well. We'll see the new design eventually for the new Ninja Turtles that Seth Rogen are making, and most likely, like I said, they're most likely the next Ninja Turtles game will be with those guys. But I would kind of like just a game that's kind of its own thing. Maybe base it off the comics if you have to just go off something. If you don't want to just like make like your own story for it. But yeah, I think that something like that, where you actually can do some exploring, maybe, it doesn't have to be open world, but to where the levels are open enough. One of my big problems with Mutants in Manhattan was that everything felt like it was still on a track. So even though you had like this big open area that you could explore, it didn't really feel like you belonged in that area, because a lot of it was like, hey, go like disarm this bomb, and it almost felt like open world quests, you know, kind of like Spider-Man was, or like Arkham or something like that, where you have like, oh, I have to run over here and disarm this bomb, disarm the bomb. Okay, now I'm going to go do the actual level. But that's the level. They had like these, like one of them's like the sewers, and you have to like go through and like do some stuff in the sewers, and another one's like New York City's downtown, so you have to like run through New York. Then, I don't know, it felt like it wasn't a complete game. And I feel like had they done a little bit more work and had they put a little bit more effort into it, or even maybe they didn't have enough time, I don't know. Video game making is kind of all over the place, but had they done just this much more, that probably would have been one of the coolest Ninja Turtles games that they ever made. They needed more enemies for sure, but I'm going back to like that Dynasty Warriors thing, because that was like my biggest thing, is I was like, man, I just wish there were more enemies for me to just mow down with these attacks. But there weren't. There was like 8 or 9 at the most, and you had all 4 turtles, and they kind of fought all over each other. I'd almost prefer one where instead of having all 4 turtles on screen, only have 2 turtles. And then you can switch between any of the turtles that you want, and then like another turtle would just fill in that. Or make it to where the turtles are a little bit more independent, to where they kind of go off and do their own thing. Or even just have one turtle, right? Like the Last Ronin comics is going to be coming out. I think that would be a perfect game to run, or a perfect comic to run a game from. You know, where you come in, you get to use all of the Ninja Turtles' weapons, and you get to fight. And honestly, I hope at the end of like the Last Ronin, they don't tell you what turtle it was, so that way it kind of is left up to the imagination of the reader. But now I'm getting off on something else. So I think I'm just going to end this video, because I'm kind of rambling now. I'm going to end this video, but before I do, please get down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let me know what kind of game you want to see from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let me know if you think that they need to put a Ninja Turtles game on the Switch. I don't know why you wouldn't. I think it's very obvious, but if you don't, let me know why. If you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video, and make sure to subscribe, and let me know if you want to see more videos like this, me just like rambling and talking about the things that I want to see. But that's it for this video. I'm Spidey Fist, and I'm out of here.